What if I told you some billionaires legally pay a lower tax rate than teachers, nurses, and even Uber drivers? Sounds illegal, right? It's not. In fact, the richest people in the world use a financial system designed to protect wealth, and most average people don't even know it exists. Today, I'll show you the legal strategies rich people use to avoid huge taxes and why the middle class often ends up paying more. This isn't about secret offshore crimes or movie-style money laundering. Everything you're about to hear is completely legal, and once you understand how the system works, you'll never look at money the same way again. Here's the first secret. Most rich people don't make money from paychecks. Why? Because salaries get taxed heavily. Instead, wealthy people own assets, stocks, real estate, businesses, investments. And here's the important part. If your wealth grows through assets, you often don't pay taxes until you sell them. So while a normal worker gets taxed every month, a billionaire can watch their wealth grow for years without paying income tax. That's why ownership is everything. Now here's the craziest strategy of all. Imagine you own $500 million in stock. If you sell it, you pay massive taxes. So what do rich people do instead? They borrow money against their assets. Banks happily lend them millions because their investments are worth so much, and loans are not taxable income. So instead of selling assets and paying taxes, they live off borrowed money while their investments continue growing in value. This strategy is so powerful that it even has a nickname: buy, borrow, die. And yes, that's a real thing. Now let's talk about real estate. Real estate is basically a tax advantage machine for wealthy investors. Here's why. Even if a property increases in value, owners can still claim something called depreciation, which means on paper, the building is losing value even while it's making money. That paper loss can reduce taxes dramatically. And then there's something called the 1031 exchange. It allows investors to sell one property and buy another without paying taxes immediately. The rich don't just buy houses, they buy tax advantages. Now you might wonder, why would governments allow this? Simple. Governments want investment. They reward people who build businesses, create jobs, invest in housing, and grow the economy. So the tax system was designed to encourage ownership and investing, not just working a job. The problem is, most schools never teach this, so the biggest difference between the rich and everyone else isn't just money, it's understanding the rules of the game. Because once you learn how taxes really work, you stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an owner. If you enjoyed this kind of calm, reality-based perspective on money and modern life, you can subscribe for more.